Yesterday will haunt you if you let it. The choices you made, the promises you broke, the dreams you postponed, they linger like shadows. But yesterday is not your prison, it's your training ground. Every scar, every failure, every quiet victory you never celebrated, it's all still here, waiting for you to decide what comes next. The truth is, you don't need to outrun anyone else. The only opponent that matters is staring back at you in the mirror. Today isn't about being the fastest, strongest, or smartest. Today is about one simple question. Will you outwork the person you were yesterday? The answer will define your future. Stay with me, because what comes next may change how you rise every single morning. Let's begin with the first lesson that changes everything. The mirror is the only competition. You know what's funny? Most people spend their whole lives chasing ghosts, competing with people who don't even know they exist, scrolling through screens, measuring their worth against someone else's highlight reel. But the truth is, the person standing in your way isn't out there. It's right in front of you, in the mirror. That reflection, it doesn't lie. It remembers every promise you broke, every shortcut you took, every time you said tomorrow. It knows the truth behind the smile you wear when you tell people you're doing fine. That reflection is the one opponent you can't cheat, can't ignore, can't escape. Let me tell you something real. The hardest battle you'll ever fight is the one between who you are and who you could be. You wake up every morning and face a choice: stay the same or demand more from yourself. The mirror is your reminder that no one else can do this for you. Not the haters, not the supporters, not the people who clap when you win or vanish when you fail. This is your fight alone. I remember talking to a guy once, talented, driven, ambitious. He used to say he wanted to beat everyone. Every time someone else succeeded, he felt smaller. But here's the twist. The more he tried to outdo others, the more he lost himself. He was chasing validation, not growth. Then one day, he looked in the mirror and said, I don't even recognize this person anymore. That moment broke him, but it also rebuilt him. Because from that day forward, he stopped trying to win against people and started trying to win against his own weakness. That's where real progress starts, in those quiet moments when no one's watching, when it's just you and the mirror. The voice in your head saying, I can't do it. And another voice, softer but stronger, whispering, yes, you can. Every day you choose which voice to feed. So ask yourself, who are you becoming when no one is there to applaud you? Are you still pushing, still showing up, still chasing a better version of yourself even when it hurts? Because that's what this is about. Not perfection, not comparison, but evolution. The mirror doesn't care about your past. It doesn't care about the trophies, the followers, or the failures. It only asks one thing: are you better than you were yesterday? That's the standard. That's the race. And the day you understand that, the world around you changes. Because you stop looking left or right and start looking within. You stop chasing noise and start chasing growth. So tomorrow morning, when you look in that mirror, don't look away. Face it, confront it, respect it. Because that reflection, that's your rival. That's your coach. That's your truth. And if you can learn to outwork that person every single day, no one out there will ever be able to touch you. Now here's lesson number 2. Yesterday's wins don't earn today's respect. You ever notice how quickly people forget what you've done? How fast the world moves on, even from your biggest moments? Yesterday, they were cheering your name. Today, they've already found someone else to clap for. At first, that hurts. You give everything, your time, your energy, your soul, to climb one mountain. You stand on top for a moment, gasping for air, thinking you've made it. And then you look up and realize there's another mountain waiting, a taller one, a harder one. That's life's way of reminding you yesterday's victories don't buy you today's respect. Let me tell you something real. I once knew a man who was proud of his past. Every conversation started with what he used to do, who he used to be, the things he once accomplished. You could feel it. He was still living there, stuck in old glory. But life doesn't pause for memory. It doesn't hand out respect for what you've already done. It demands proof every single day, because yesterday's effort can't carry today's weight. You can't coast on an old version of yourself. The world is moving, and so must you. Think about it. When you stop pushing, you start fading. When you settle, you start sinking. That's the danger of success. It makes you comfortable. It makes you believe you've earned a rest that lasts forever. But comfort kills hunger, and hunger is what keeps you alive. Yesterday's achievements were meant to inspire you, not define you. They were meant to show you what's possible, not convince you you've arrived. Respect isn't permanent, it's rented, renewed only through consistency, through evolution, through effort. You see, true respect isn't about what you've done, it's about what you're still willing to do after you've already proven yourself. Can you show up again when nobody's watching? Can you still demand more from yourself when everyone else thinks you've done enough? That's the test. Let me give you a fact. The greatest athletes, the top performers, the legends, they never live in yesterday. They celebrate for a moment, then get back to work, because they know that every sunrise resets the scoreboard. You're not owed anything for what you've achieved. You have to earn it again. And maybe that's the point. Life isn't supposed to honor your past. It's supposed to challenge your future. Yesterday was your foundation, but today is your responsibility. So don't look back too long. Don't build a home in your history, because the moment you start glorifying what you did, you stop building what you could become. Respect yourself enough to move again, to outgrow yesterday's success, to build something new, something stronger, something worthy of the person you are now. Because no matter how loud the applause once was, it's silence that tests your character. And the only way to keep the world's respect is to never stop earning your own. Let's dive into the last lesson. Discomfort is the proof of progress. You ever wonder why the hardest days, the ones that break you, are the ones that actually change you? Because growth doesn't happen in the warmth of comfort. It happens in the burn, in the ache, in the places you'd rather run from. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort. They build walls around their routines, protect their feelings, play it safe. And at first it feels good, predictable, easy, controlled. But slowly, that comfort becomes a cage. It takes away your hunger, your edge, your fire. You stop reaching. You stop growing. You stop becoming. Let me tell you a story. There was this young athlete I met, talented, gifted, hungry. But every time the pain hit, he'd pull back. He'd say, "My body's telling me to stop." What he didn't realize was it wasn't his body talking. It was his comfort speaking fear. Weeks later, he faced someone who pushed harder, who trained through pain, who lived in discomfort. And he lost badly. That night he told me, "Now I understand. I was protecting my comfort, not my potential." See, that's the truth. Discomfort isn't the enemy, it's the signal. It's life's way of saying you're breaking through something. Every muscle only grows when it tears. Every skill sharpens through repetition and friction. Every piece of progress you've ever made came after you wanted to quit. You've probably had days where you felt stuck, where nothing made sense, where the world seemed too heavy. Those moments weren't punishment, they were construction. Life was reshaping you in silence, testing your resilience, preparing you for more. The problem is, most people escape before the transformation finishes. They mistake pressure for punishment, not realizing that pressure is what creates strength. Let me give you a fact. Comfort is where potential goes to die. It disguises itself as peace, but it's really slow decay. You can't build endurance without struggle. You can't build wisdom without mistakes. You can't build strength without resistance. So the next time you're tired, lost, uncertain, stay there. Don't run. Sit in that discomfort. Feel it. Because that's where the version of you you've been chasing is being built. Right there, in the grind, in the uncertainty, in the chaos. The people who change their lives aren't the ones who feel less pain. They're the ones who stop running from it. They learn to work with it, to breathe through it, to find meaning inside it. So when everything in you screams to stop, take one more step. When your mind says you've given enough, give a little more. Because that's not the end, that's the edge. And that's where growth begins. Because discomfort, it's not your enemy. It's the proof that you're alive, evolving, and still fighting for something greater than the person you used to be.